Hello, everyone. The National Assembly has approved Bola Tinubu's request to borrow $2.35 billion to finance part of the 2025 budget deficit. You know, this is one of the things that make me extremely angry when I see Nigerians coming to disturb private citizens and disturb you for money with audacity on top of it, asking you for this, so come and pay this, so come and do this, so come and do that. It's one of the most irritating things that there can be. Honestly, I feel really irritated about it. This is money being wasted. These people are borrowing this money. You literally can see that they are not using this money for anything. They're just borrowing. It's being looted. It's being spent on frivolous things that's going to keep us more in debt. You cannot. You're borrowing for the deficit of the budget deficit of the 2025 budget. Yet you are repairing things like spending 30 something billion on a international conference center. You're building houses for judges. You're buying presidential jet. You are buying yacht. You're buying massive cars. Monies are being spent on vehicles. Any serious executive, president, or government that comes to Nigeria will first of all put a stop on the purchase of any vehicle. Your first time you say, whatever vehicle we have, let's manage it. If you don't have, leave it like that. But they are always borrowing all of these things recklessly without any care of something. Okay, the subsidy that was removed, what was the essence of that subsidy? They removed subsidy that, when they remove subsidy, they will not need to borrow any money again. They are taxing Nigerians. The taxes, the other time, FIRS said that they have collected how many trillion? That is the highest they have collected, record breaking, whatever. Where are the monies? Why are you using it to sustain your budget? Why are you still borrowing this money from outside? Who is going to pay all of this money? You're borrowing so much, yet you're spending it recklessly, and the people whose monies are being spent recklessly are just there laughing and talking, and then if you're saying something, they will say anyhow. Somebody sat down to defend Wike going to official duty with his money, where it is being alleged, reported that he spent state money to sponsor his children and whatever, and he went on to defend. The person was saying that he was calling different churches and said this pastor is their children they put. You are comparing a religious activity that is their business to national activity that is everybody's business. Hey! The National Assembly has approved Bola Tinubu's request to borrow $2.35 billion to finance part of the 2025 budget deficit. Both the Senate and the House of Representatives approved the loan request on Wednesday after considering the report of the committees on local and foreign debt. They also approved Tinubu's request to issue a $500 million debit sovereign sukuk in the international capital market to fund infrastructure projects and diversify Nigerians' financial sources. Tinubu had in a letter earlier this month asked the lawmakers to approve the borrowing request, which he said was necessary to give effect to the borrowing provisions in the 2025 Appropriation Act. He said the 2025 budget provided for 9.28 trillion in new borrowings to bridge the fiscal deficit, out of which 1.85 trillion, equivalent to $1.229 billion, was earmarked as new external borrowing. Tinubu, who also sought lawmakers' approval to refinance the $1.118 billion Eurobond issued in 2018, which he said will mature on November 21st, 2025. He said the move was necessary to avoid default and is in line with the international best practices in debt capital market. He said the aggregate external capital to be raised comprising of $1.229 billion for new borrowing and $1.118 billion for the financing amount to $2.347 billion. If the amount of billions that I have just called did not give you headache, you have a very strong mind. As I'm reading this thing, honestly, I literally have headache, and it's so sickening. Sickening in the sense that This is the future of Nigerians being wasted. This is not even about us. It's about the children that are yet not born. Imagine the person, that baby that is born into Nigeria today, born already disadvantaged. That's where it is. And when we see people just going on and feeling that it's none of their business, I wish I had that kind of a mind, sha. Currently, don't have. So I'll make it my business. We cannot continue to have all of this happening and then we see it as, oh, it's nothing. You see the 2027 election that is coming. It's not just an election for every Nigeria. It's an election. You're fighting for your life. It's an election for your life. Because this whole bad governance, you allow it to continue to happen, it's going to mean it's going to mean so much to a lot of people. And sometimes when we're looking at issues, we shouldn't look at them from our comfort zone. We should look at them from the view of a lot of people who do not have the luxury of the comfort that we have. Today, we are seeing all of the recklessness going on and the borrowing that's on it constantly and being done again and again and again. And yet, people feel that it's none of their business. Politics must be everybody's business because the people who govern you, they come in through politics. And if you say it's none of your business, other will do it on behalf of you. When I see some people who come out proudly, they are proud to tell us that, oh, they don't participate in politics. I don't do politics. Shame on you, honestly. Shame on you. Well, we were once like that. We don't do politics. Shame on us. And that's why we're where we are today. And as long as you refuse to and say you don't do that politics, they'll continue to do it on your behalf. We see people who are reckless, who want to destroy Nigeria, who weaponize poverty, who want to impoverish everyone. They want to make all Nigerians poor so that when they bring 10 naira, it will matter to you. Because when you are not poor, when you're rich, you'll also be educated and they cannot control you that the way they want to control you. So, and the National Assembly, the 10th National Assembly, shame on them. Rubber stamp is even better than them. The ninth assembly was called the rubber stamp assembly. This one, the rubber stamp is better than them because at least a rubber stamp, somebody has to make effort and stamp it. This one is just there. Bunch of slaves who have allowed themselves to be enslaved and left just like that. And that's why I always say we must do everything we can to ensure that people who go into the National Assembly are people with courage that can speak up and stand up and fight for our rights as people. They must be activists in government. We cannot continue to allow them, do whatever they want to do and continue to enslave us as citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching.